Yo, 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 welcome to Roto Slappers right here on the Fanatics Network. I'm Streetz. You know who's next to me over here. Nope, there. Matty, Daddy, baby. And we are here because it's real crappy week 7 or wild week 7, however you want to do it, is in the books. So we want to get you those waivers out and get you those waivers so you can go put all your fab claims in, put all your waiver claims in, go get you some help for week 8 because there are some interesting names this week. Matty, how you feeling?
Dude, I'm feeling good. Another week in the books. We're about to get to where all the teams are off bye week. We're going to be at full strength. Injuries weren't as bad as most weeks, but these waiver claims are becoming more and more important that with the injuries, with everything like that, to get ahead of the game.
Yep, that I agree. So with that being said, let's break it down and get right into it right here, right now. We'll go wide receivers to start things off in this one. Rashee Rice tops my list again. This might be your last chance on waivers to get Rashee Rice. He's clearly the best wide receiver in Kansas City, and the role is growing. Patrick Mahomes trusts him and has his snap rate climbs as the season progresses. Like there's a monster brewing there in Rashee Rice. What do you think?
Dude, I mean, we've seen it time and time again. He's getting more involved in the offense. He's putting up the stats now. We're seeing this guy is just producing on every opportunity he gets. To me, this guy, we're starting to see that he's going to be maybe that alpha that, Patrick Mahomes needs moving forward.
Yeah. Red zone usage is up or there for him. Like, that's good. That's what you want to see out of Rashee Rice. Touchdown upside. Yeah, he's becoming his trusted man. When he is on the field, he is targeted. That is for sure. So he tops that one. Josh Downs. Whew, welcome. We had talked about this in the show before. The target rate with Gardner Minshew is ridiculous for Josh Downs. And it's continuing to grow with Gardner Minshew, who is now going to be the quarterback for the rest of the season as Anthony Richardson is on the IR. So make sure you go out there and get you Josh Downs. Whew, he's on fire.
Yeah, 5 receptions for 125 yards, a touchdown. Now he gets to go up against New Orleans, one of the bottom defenses against the pass. To me, this is a great matchup. And moving forward with, like you said, Minshew, this could be a streamer potential wide receiver 3 moving forward.
Next up on the wide receiver list is Jayden Reed. He becomes very viable, especially, unfortunately, because we saw Christian Watson leave that game. He had to, run off to the sidelines, and he hit the ground. We never saw him again. It's a knee. I had not seen what was up there, so pay attention to that. If Christian Watson does miss time, Jayden Reed gets a bump in targets. Luke Musgrave also actually got hurt and left that game too. So Romeo Doubs, we like to say Dubes, but Romeo Doubs and Jayden Reed could be the only 2 pass catchers for Jordan Love next week.
Yeah, and Jayden Reed's one of those guys. He plays almost like a slot receiver. We saw at Michigan State. This guy did produce. This guy's got talent. I don't think that's ever been the question. It's just how is Jordan Love going to use him with all these other weapons? Like you mentioned, if Musgrave, Watson aren't playing, which both of them are kind of got that injury tag to them, slot receiver role is all his.
Which is, especially next week, I'm sure everybody could use a little help. Now some running backs, some interesting running backs we have next week, actually. Some very usable ones, too, if you kind of need a running back. We'll go to the Rams first because seem to be kind of like a little 50-50 split there, but both kind of viable. Darrell Henderson comes back, walks right off the street, walks right back into that building, and goes out there. What does he get? 19 touches for 68 yards and a touchdown. Royce Freeman looked pretty good there. So I would say I would probably put Darrell Henderson on top for now, but Royce Freeman also you have to roster or go out and add if he's available in that one. But both of them are pretty viable options.
Absolutely. You might have to be more of a wait and see approach moving forward, but we could see these other running backs out for the next 3 weeks. You get the Cowboys this week for the Rams. Not the best matchup on paper, but you look forward, you get the Packers the very next week. That could be RB2 usage versus that terrible Packers run defense.
Yep. It's crazy. With Zach Evans, we talked about him last week. We were like, yeah, go get Zach Evans. This is why I actually saw or heard somebody was talking about this. I think it was on Twitter. that waivers should actually be pushed back a day. Like all leagues need to push their waivers back to Wednesday because it was Zach Evans mania on Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, it's like, no, we're bringing in Darrell Henderson because you don't get their first report or practice or nothing comes out till Wednesday now. So you go into these waivers blind a lot of times. So I kind of agree with that one. But needless to say, these coaches love their veterans. That's what they like. They like the guys good at pass protection. They like the guys who do the little things out there. So yeah, Darrell Henderson, Royce Freeman. Next up on this one, if you need a running back in a must win week next week, he's pretty good rest of the season, but he is the number one ad for anyone who needs a running back next week. Jerome Ford is doubtful, high ankle, probably going to miss a couple weeks to be honest, but Kareem Hunt still available in like 50% of leagues out there. So I would prioritize Kareem Hunt if you are in need of a running back this week. He looked pretty good out there. Back-to-back 15 plus point PPR weeks now for Kareem Hunt. So, yeah, we know the running back does pretty well in that offense and that Kevin Stefanski. Yeah, so I would go out there and do that.
Right. Yeah, Kareem Hunt, the one big thing he has is he's dual threat. So he doesn't have to come off the field. Like you said, this Browns defense is stout. You're going to see them run the ball because they can, especially with Watson. We don't know what the hell's going on with him. So Kareem Hunt, with the backfield all to himself and a Cleveland stout run D, should get more and more opportunity on this Browns offense.
Next up on this one, this goes to show you how bad the coaching staff might be in Chicago, but Deonta Foreman explodes against the Raiders this past week for 33 fantasy points, to be exact. He had 3 touchdowns. I don't know what they were thinking and why he hasn't been playing for them, but Roschon Johnson maybe clears concussion protocol this week. We'll see. He's been out the past 2 weeks, but regardless of whatever happened, I'm pretty sure Deonta Foreman just earned a role until probably the lion's share of the carries there until Khalil Herbert gets back. So if you need another one, I kind of like Deonta Foreman also.
Yeah, I love Foreman moving forward. We saw 120 yards, 3 touchdowns, 33 fantasy points. Guys, you know Chicago loves to run the ball. If we don't get Fields, that just means more opportunity for Foreman. Moving forward, I would definitely grab him off waivers and also check if Roschon Johnson is on waivers just in case something happens to Foreman, say next week. You have the handcuff. Could be big opportunity there in Chicago.
Yeah, I like Roschon. He's been on the waiver article every week. He'll make it again just as because he's still handcuff. Available in 70% of leagues, but they're not gonna. They're 2-5 or whatever it is now. So as the season progresses, if their record is 2-8 or whatever, they're gonna want to see what they got out of Roschon too. So he's a good rest of season type of back too for me. So that's what I kind of like about Roschon Johnson. Tight ends. We have a tight end, a big time tight end to talk about, I think, which is fantastic in a wasteland of a position and a boring position to talk about. It's the same guys every week. We tell you to stream based on matchups. Yeah, there's a top 5-6 guys, and then after that, kind of just regurgitated the next 8 of them. But one might just come back to life here. Dawson Knox is out. He is hurt. Is it Dalton Kincaid season?
I think, dude, I mean, it's got to be at this, like you said, shameful tight end position. Going to get a boom bust player, but those booms could be league winning week to week. So I think this is a great guy. If you suck at tight end, I'd put Dalton, or not Dalton, I'd put him in there and just set it and forget it.
Yeah. The snap count is going to be up now for him. I like that. He's going to be on the field more. It sucks for Dawson Knox. I shouldn't say I like it. That was a horrible way to word that, but you get what I'm saying. Like, yeah, kind of leads to more instead of a split out there. We'll see more Dalton Kincaid usage. But yeah, that'll wrap up the top waiver wires of the week. Thank you all for checking us out right here at the Roto Slappers. I'm Streetz. That's Matty. Thank you.